All right, let's talk about The Curse of Robert, the second film in the Robert series. I got a new camera. I hope it sounds and looks a little better. I tried a new angle. Anyway. So, first I'd like to say that, what I respect about this series is that low budget film like this really almost always tries to go the silly route. Like, oh, well, we didn't really have the money, so we just went and had a fun time, and it wasn't supposed to be taken seriously, and this and that. And I feel like a lot of the times, it can be successful. Clearly, there's plenty of them out there, but a lot of the times I feel like it's just kind of a cop-out. Like, you can make a successful low-budget horror movie. I've seen a few of them that utilize a very minuscule micro-budget and make an effective horror movie. I mean, look at some of the directors that have made it, from, like Mike Flanagan is a perfect example. Watch Absentia. That movie has like zero budget, and it's still eerie, and it doesn't have top-rate actors or anything, but they give a good enough performance that it gets it. And gets the movie feeling good. And I feel like this movie is same thing, and I was talking about that first film in my other review, and I feel the same way about that as I do about this, where I'm just like, I'm surprised that they went for it, and I'm even more surprised that it kind of works. I mean, I do see the appeal of the Robert franchise. So let's get into this movie. Now, a girl takes the job. Obviously, in the last one, it was a family who had the doll. This time, the doll is bought by this guy who owns a museum, and he puts it in this museum. And this girl starts working the night shift there. And, she's told the curse, she's told about the doll and how it has this curse on it and blah, blah, blah. And then she starts to believe that Robert is coming to life. And people at the museum end up, dying. Now, I guess just getting right into this movie. This movie, yet again, uses very minimal locations. But it doesn't hold back from the storytelling. I like that they didn't just say, well, we don't have this and we don't have that, so fuck it. Like, if they needed a medical waiting area, or if they needed a diner, or, some other set location, that they didn't just either write it out or try to, scene around it. They took a building, they took a little room, and they just dressed it up with like a little couple teeny things, and they just said, fuck it, this is what it is, And I like that about it. I like this movie clearly has a very small budget. I'm curious on what the budget on this film is. If you don't like low budget stuff like this, you shouldn't be watching it. Is this a great movie? No, it's not a great movie. And I think the majority of people who would watch this would be like, this is garbage. But it has appeal. There's something about it that is, kind of special for being what it is. I appreciate it for what it is. I found it funny that there was yet another Halloween 4 throwback in this movie. I mentioned the last one with the ending, and then in this one, the girl says, damnation doesn't die like people do. I mean, almost a direct quote from Halloween 4. So this guy really, and then the music in this movie is very, Halloween inspired. So clearly this director really likes Halloween. Now this writer did the first, the second, the third, and there is also an upcoming fourth that is in post-production. So there will be a fourth. So I thought that was really cool that he came back. The music in this movie, as I said, it was Halloween inspired, but it's very simple, but it's effective. It's eerie, and I liked it a lot. I really liked the acting in this movie. The mom comes back from the last movie for like a scene, and she is great again. Really good, talented actress. I really liked her performance in this. Everyone was pretty good. There was like a few exceptions, like one in particular. I liked the chemistry. There was kind of a little bit of a romance going on between Emily, the main girl, and this guy that she meets at the museum. And I liked it. I thought that it worked. I felt like they were actually interested in each other. And it just, yeah, it worked for me. Emily's kind of interesting because she's, and this is, I will say up front, I do have a thing for girls with glasses, but she's like wearing glasses and she's like uber cute. And then she takes off the glasses and she's pretty. And it's like, yeah, she's a pretty girl. And then she puts them back on and I'm like, ooh, she's adorable. It's kind of funny. I kept going through the movie like that. Another thing that I appreciated about this is that, as I said in my previous review, this doll is based on a real doll. And supposedly it was the inspiration for Chucky in the Child's Play movies. And in the first movie, they don't really address what the lore is behind the real doll. In real life, if you take a picture without his permission, you're cursed for life. And in this movie, he's put in a glass case in a museum. And if you take a picture of him, you are cursed. So they brought in the real story this time of Robert. And I thought that that was a cool, little touch. The museum itself is hilarious. It's like, this is your museum? Like, it looked like an abandoned school. Like, not a beat up abandoned school, but just like a school after hours, and they like put up a couple little things here and there. But it's so cheesy. Like, that's your museum. It made me laugh a couple times when I was just looking around at all the background stuff, which was very little. But I'm just like, why would anyone pay to come to this museum? Like, this guy's like a millionaire who owns this place, and he brings in Robert as this attraction, and Robert's like tucked in this corner with all this clutter and junk around him, and it's like, is he in a closet? This is like your main attraction, and this guy's a millionaire like, he's rich at least, and you're like he wants to keep this secret because he doesn't want to lose money on his very profitable museum. And you see the museum, and you're just like, it's pretty silly. Yet again, Robert is used, and as I said, this is low budget, so they don't really have they don't have the means to do anything. But Robert is yet again done in extreme close-up shots. There is a little bit more Robert and a little bit more movement from him, but pretty much the same amount of, mobility within Robert. So I'm hoping eventually, whether it's the third or the fourth film, that we will get to see a little bit more of Robert. But who knows? Maybe that'll take away from it, because Robert's full body, when he's not moving, is pretty silly looking. He has like these baby little feet, and he's only like 2 feet tall. And let me tell you, in this movie and the last movie, especially in this movie, fucking Robert's been hitting the roids, man. He is strong. He has taken down like 300-pound dudes and holding them down and strangling them, and it's pretty funny. I don't know where he's getting the leverage, but it is what it is. Now, the opening narration in this movie just it took me out of it almost instantaneously, so it kind of starts like, ugh. I don't know what it is about the guy's voice in the opening, but it's just sounded super silly to me. A lot of the dialogue in this movie is kind of uninteresting and drags at times. I'm not saying it's all bad, because I wasn't ever bored. I wasn't ever like sitting there like, oh, like, when are we getting through this scene? But it just kind of kept me paying attention, but never really piquing my interest, where I was like, ooh, that was a good line. Oh, that was, funny or, witty or anything. It was just kind of like, okay, that serves the story they're trying to tell, and it's getting you to the next scene. So it's just kind of mediocre dialogue for the most part. The other main boss, the owner, the villain, the owner of the museum, I'm not really fond of his performance in this. I found his character to be a little bit more annoying than intimidating, and he's definitely trying to be. The makeup in this movie is pretty bad. I mean, they show this old man at the end. It's like a young guy dressed up like an old man with makeup, and it's bad, like really bad. Now that might have, because it does segue into the third film, because that guy is on the cover of the third film. So I'm sure that has a purpose, but I don't know if that's going to be explained why he looks like that. But I think it's just them trying to make him look old, and it's bad. Like, you want to see amazing makeup? Go look at Max von Sydow in The Exorcist. You want to see bad old person makeup? Here you go. This is really, really bad. And then just the characters, especially Emily, the main girl, her makeup in certain scenes is like overly yellow. I think it's probably because I just have a really nice TV that it's bad, but like it's noticeably bad. Like you can tell when bad makeup is put on an actor, and this is definitely one of them. And the ending of this movie has like a slow motion, bad music scene where, I'm not going to say what happens in case you watch it, but it's just, I don't know, it felt so out of place. And it was just like, you're trying to create drama in slow motion, but I feel like the girl who, I feel like the person who is in this scene is strong enough of an actor that they could have pulled this scene off instead of just like a slow-mo music. I get what they were going for, but it just didn't work. And I guess that's pretty much it. I'm looking forward to the third film. As I said, I do see the appeal, and I'm glad I own them. They're a fun time for someone who likes really low budget stuff, doesn't take film seriously. Not that this film isn't serious. I've said it before. This film definitely is serious. But you can't nitpick it. You can't be one of those people who's like, I only like good movies. Like, if you're gonna watch a movie like this, don't watch it if you're one of those kind of people. If you're gonna watch a movie like this is the kind of movie where you kind of just have to, let yourself accept what's happening. Like, okay, it's not a great budget, and it doesn't have the best actors, and it doesn't have the best props, and it doesn't have the best makeup, and it doesn't have the best effects, and it doesn't have the best... But you can look past all that shit, and you can see what they were going for, and you can see how they got clever and tried to do little unique things to hide the fact that they didn't have the budget. Like, I don't know. I can see it, and I enjoyed it for what it was. So I'm going to check out the third film soon, and I will be back with my thoughts on that. All right.